Today, we're talking about a practice that perfectly blends simple, everyday hygiene with some really deep spiritual meaning. It's an ancient tool, but it's still used by millions of people all over the world. It kind of proves that sometimes the best solutions have been right there with us all along. This is the story of the Siwak. Okay, so let's just jump right into this. At first glance, you'd think they're from completely different worlds, right? One is, a gift from nature, and the other's a product from a factory. But the connection between them is absolutely fascinating. And believe me, it goes way beyond just cleaning your teeth. So what exactly is Siwak? Well, it's kind of two things at once. It's the tool itself, and it's the action of using it. We're talking about a twig, usually from the arak tree, used to clean your mouth. But here's the part that changes everything. It's done with a specific intention. That's what elevates it from just a habit into a really conscious act. And you can really see the difference laid out here. On one side, you have the Siwak. It's a natural twig, it's an ancient practice, and it's full of spiritual intention. Then, on the other side, you've got our modern toothbrush, plastic and nylon, a pretty recent invention, and it's focused purely on functional hygiene. I mean, they both cleaned your teeth for sure, but the context and the meaning behind them couldn't be more different. So in Islam, using the Siwak is what's known as a sunnah. Now, what that means is it's a highly recommended practice. It's not, required, but it's something that's encouraged all the time, really woven into the fabric of daily life. But there is one specific exception to keep in mind. For a person who's fasting, say during Ramadan, it's discouraged to use the Siwak after midday. That time is known as zawal, and the discouragement lasts all the way until sunset when the fast is broken. It's a small detail, but a really important one in how the practice is applied. So how does this become an ever-present ritual? Well, it's definitely not just a morning and night kind of thing. The Siwak is actually recommended at a bunch of specific moments throughout the day, and each one has its own special significance. And you can really get a sense of just how integrated it is right here. First thing when you wake up, of course, before prayer, to purify the mouth for worship, before reading scripture or studying. Kind of like clearing the mind. But it's also about being ready for people after strong foods, when you're entering or leaving your home, or before going to a gathering. It's all about being in a state of purity and preparedness for both God and for others. Okay, so how do you actually do it? Well, like a lot of traditions, there's a recommended way that combines the physical action with spiritual awareness. It's super simple, but every little step is meaningful. All right, so the method itself is pretty straightforward. First, and this is key, you begin with the right intention. Your purpose is to follow this recommended practice. Second, you hold and use it with your right hand. And third, you start cleaning on the right side of your mouth. It really shows you that the spiritual part, the why, is set up before the physical action even starts. And this brings us right to the heart of it all, the why. I mean, what's the point? The virtues of using the Siwak are said to go far, far beyond just a clean mouth. They touch on benefits for both the body and the soul. The benefits are on a few different levels. The ultimate goal, of course, is that the act is pleasing to God. On a physical level, it cleanses and purifies the mouth, sweetens the breath. Some traditions even mention that it strengthens eyesight. And then spiritually, it's believed to multiply the reward for any good deeds you do afterward, like prayer or reading scripture. But perhaps the most profound virtue of all is this one. It's considered a reminder of the declaration of faith at the time of death. The source material ends this thought by saying, and that is a sufficient benefit. Just think about that. This simple daily act is tied to something so ultimate, so fundamental. So when you put all these pieces together, you really see the whole picture. The Siwak isn't just an ancient toothbrush. No way. It's a tool for mindfulness. It's a way to turn a totally mundane moment into an act of worship and remembrance, weaving the physical and the spiritual together. And that really just leaves us with a final thought to mull over. It could be making that first cup of coffee, or a morning walk, or maybe just 5 minutes of quiet reflection. What are the simple rituals in your life that help bring a little more mindfulness and meaning to your day?